everybody, it's Tea Leaf Prophecy. Welcome back into another tips and tricks video. This time we're going to be covering Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. A lot of these tips are going to be geared towards new players to the series, but stick around and you may learn something new. Let's get started. So we're going to talk about tips for your farmhouse to begin with. If you go over here, you can view your calendar, and that's actually going to let you know birthdays of the villagers as well as festivals that are going on in Mineral Town. Always very handy, especially if you are trying to woo said person. Be sure to give them a gift on their birthday. Right here, you can actually use this mirror to change your outfit. It is a very nice feature that they've added in this new remake to have the ability to change into multiple colored outfits. To the very far left of your farmhouse, there is actually a cabinet that you can use to store various non-perishable items. So I like to store my lumber, material stone, and all of the ores that I've been collecting in here as well. Very nice, and it comes with your farm immediately as you start the game. Going into your bookshelf to check various assets that you have within the game, so you can actually look at your shipping log, your fishing log and records, your balance book if you're interested in seeing, how much you spent throughout the week and the month. A lot of good information in here. You can also go back and look at previous tutorials if you forget how to do something, as well as look at previous letters that have been mailed out to you. Another really handy thing that they've added is you have a toolbox not only on the inside of your farmhouse, but you have another one right outside in case you forget to pick up a certain tool that you need. Now your farm is going to be already equipped with a barn and a coop. A lot of people don't know that you can examine this little box right here to take out any of the fodder or feed that you have for your animals. And the barn and coop both have a bell on the outside that you can ring, and your animals will automatically come out. Do note as well that at 8 p.m. game time, the animals will automatically go back into their designated areas, which is super nice. If you've played any of the other Harvest Moon games, you don't have to worry about forgetting your animals outside. When you take food out from the feed storage, they come out in stacks of 9 no matter what you do, so you just need to make sure that you are putting back your fodder unless you want to carry it around, which if that's the case, go for it. Another part of your farm is your pond, which you can use your watering can next to fill it up. And you can also check your farm map as well. This is very handy when you have either your animals outside or if you're looking for your horse. Speaking of your horse, be sure that you are talking to your horse and brushing your horse every single day. Otherwise, if you don't talk and brush your horse every single day, then it will get taken away from you and you can't get another horse. So make sure you give your horse some love. I do also want to go over the menus real quick. Now these menus are slightly different than the original Friends of Mineral Town. So if we go to the very right here, you can actually check your relationships with your residents, nature sprites, animals, and pets. One of my favorite things is looking at the residents' relationships, and you can also sort by either highest friendship level or by romance. Currently, the Kappa is our best friend forever. You can also, if you select to open a certain character's profile, if you open a certain character's profile, it will tell you a little bio for them, give you their birthday, as well as allow you to see their full portraits, which is very nice. If you go into your tools section for your menu, you can also press plus if you are playing the Switch version. And this will allow you to see how much you can upgrade your various tools. Now, I would highly recommend gifting gifts to the Harvest Goddess as well as the Kappa, which I will show you guys in just a moment. So the Harvest Goddess can be located right next to the mines. Some of the more easy gifts to give her are things like produce as well as flowers that you find on the ground. You can unlock various things by speaking with the Harvest Goddess. At 10 liked gifts, she will give you a free power berry. At 30 liked gifts, you will unlock the ability to get pets. You can give her up to 150 gifts, and every 10 or so gifts, she will give you something nice or unlock a various feature in the world. If we go to the right of where the Harvest Goddess is located, there's also this separate lake that you can go into. If you throw a cucumber into this lake, you will meet Kappa. He doesn't have much to say, but give him 10 cucumber gifts and he will give you a special power berry that allows it to be easier for you to work in the rain. It's that blue one right underneath my birthday. If you end up getting a gift in the mail called Van's Favorite, this is a very good item to hang on to because you are going to get the ability to sell it for quite a bit of money. The brush, milker, and shears can all be bought at the local blacksmith. If you talk to, say, Bara and go to buy tools, you can buy your milker, clippers, and brush. He also has the ability to upgrade your tools, and if you have the right materials, can craft you accessories as well. Some of the most important characters to befriend in this game are going to be your nature sprites. They live in a little hut right behind the church, and they are really easy to give gifts to. My go-to is buying flour from the general store since it's only 50 gold a piece, and then just giving it to all of them. They will also teach you various things as well, like recipes, if you befriend them enough. Also, during the spring, the nature sprites will send you an invitation to one of their tea parties, which is a throwback to the original Friends of Mineral Town and Harvest Moon Back to Nature. So be sure to give them gifts, and then they will be able to go to a tea party with you, or they'll set up a tea party with you. Who doesn't love a tea party? And this is where you can get a very good item called the Relaxed Tea Leaves. You should also befriend Wong. He'll give you the ability to play his Apple game, which you can make quite a bit of money from if you befriend him enough. You may notice as you're going around town, there are little spots that you can examine. So for example, streetlights and signposts, various things. I would recommend examining everything that you possibly can because you never know when you are going to be able to find something nice and hidden, like a jewel of truth. Go into as many places as you can because you're going to find so many different cutscenes with the various villagers. That means no bugs. Oh, Ellie. You never know what kind of cutscenes you'll end up triggering. There is a back room to the church where you can actually go to confess various things to Carter. If you're wondering where everybody is getting the cute cow costumes or the dog, chicken, sheep costumes, if you go into the Friends of Mineral Town page on the eShop, you can actually look at the DLC if you are interested in getting any of the extra costumes. If you want to speedrun this game, you can tell the mayor that you don't want to inherit the farm. And then you will see the end credits. Fastest farming sim ever. Now say you are tilling your farm and you make a mistake. You can use either a branch or a rock to get rid of the mistilled soil, or you can also use your hammer to hammer out the spaces and return them to their natural state. If you go into the general store while Karen is inside, you will trigger her Black Heart event. If you say that you could use some help, Karen will gladly go and give you a free bag of grass seeds. And make sure you do have an empty slot free for the grass seeds as well. If you want to upgrade any of your tools, I would wait to upgrade your tools to at least silver or gold because you will save money in the long run. If you end up upgrading your iron hammer to a copper hammer and then a silver hammer and then to a gold hammer, you're going to end up losing money in the long run because you're paying for each step of the upgrade. Now, if you have enough experience for that tool, you can actually skip straight to that tool upgrade. So say you've been using your hammer for a while and haven't upgraded it yet. If you have the experience, which you can check in the menu, you can actually save a little bit of money in the long run for upgrading your tools. So instead of having to upgrade each individual tier, copper, silver, gold, mithril, you can actually upgrade directly to silver, gold, mithril, as long as you have the experience points for that tool. I would also recommend, if you are looking to upgrade your watering can and want to do it in the middle of a season, you can use your watering can that day to water all of your crops. As long as you check the weather and have a rainy day the next day, you should have enough time to upgrade your watering can. If you are looking to get the fishing pole, make sure you have an empty slot in your tool pocket and then go to the beach. You will there find Zach's house and he will give you a fishing can. Be sure you do talk to him at least once before you try and trigger this cutscene, because if you've never technically met him, he will not give you the fishing rod. Another miscellaneous tip I do have is you can marry the same gender and have kids in this game. I know a lot of people were confused on if you could or couldn't get a kid if you married the same gender, but you absolutely can. You have the option to adopt a kid after you get married. Now you can plant crops in a 3x3 square without having to worry about being able to reach the middle crop. Nicely enough, in Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, you have the ability to walk through all of your crops. You can actually change your point of view for your character using the D-pad. If you just push up and down, you can make it a little more bird's eye view, or you can kind of have it look slightly more angled. Now the hot spring is going to be one of your best friends in this game. Not only do you have the ability to recover stamina when you are mining or just out of energy from all of your farm chores, you can also throw eggs into the spa and get spa boiled eggs. Now, when you are mining, one of the best tricks I have is to actually save on each floor of the mine that you get to, and then dig around for the ladder that you want. Once you go down to your ladder, save your game, dig around again, because the ladders, each time you go into the mines, the ladders will have a predisposed location. That way you're saving stamina in the long run. So you would reload now that you know where that ladder is, and then you can get a little bit further without having to waste as much stamina. Make sure you always bring your hammer and your hoe to the mines. Very important. This is honestly the luckiest I've gotten in the mines without having to save and reload. I don't know how that happened. I know a lot of people are saying that you need to go as far down as the 13th level in order to get good ores. Actually, I have found copper, silver, and gold as low as the 7th floor of the mines. It just really depends on what you're looking for. Obviously, the lower in the mines you go, the more likely you are to find rarer ores. Gold, copper, silver. A few other just minor control things that might come in handy for players is you can actually hold the ZR button if you're playing the Switch version to lock your position in place. So if you're one of those people like me that has a difficult time watering the right squares, instead if you hold ZR you can actually sidle so that you can be more precise when watering your crops. Now, unlike in Stardew Valley, which I know a lot of newer players have been going back to Story of Seasons and Harvest Moon because of their love for Stardew Valley, I would recommend, please, 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 make sure you feed your animals. If you don't, they actually do get upset with you and get sick. And that's it, everybody, for my tips and tricks for Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town. If I missed any good tips that you guys would really like to share, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Happy gaming!